welcome back to Tea Talks with
Meosha
and
Irina.
you look gorgeous, darling.
Thank you. What do you guys, did you see a difference? No hat. My trademark.
Right? Look at this. Look at this beauty. And she hides it all.
Oh my God.
Right? Oh. I know, she just doesn't want to upstage me.
Of course you would say that. Of course you would.
She leaves things wide open for me. I
do.
just can't not.
I literally do.
Yeah.
This door is always wide open.
Yeah, she's so trusting. It's to a fault. Oh, poor baby. She'll
I know. Well,
so what are we talking about today?
We're talking about parenting, right?
Ooh, parenting.
Parenting.
I'm going to talk about parenting as a parent.
As I listen.
And she's going to talk about parenting as a child. Well, you're not a parent. So you're going to speak from perspective of your parents as their child. That's what I meant. Oy vey. My goodness.
Yes, mother.
That's right. Listen.
Listen.
Anyway, parenting styles. You know, we each grow up in a very unique set of circumstances, right?
Yes.
And we can all relate to a certain degree in how our parents showed up in our lives.
Yep.
And we have drastic, and I mean drastic differences in what our sets of parents did for us versus somebody else's parents, right?
Definitely.
So, the reason we wanted to talk about it is because I feel like, well, what we're going through right now, especially myself anyway, is as we discover more about who we really are,
Yes.
it all tends to stem down to our childhood.
Absolutely.
And what was instilled in us by our parents, what was held back or, repressed because our parents told us to or what have you, Of course, they did the best they could, right? But nevertheless, the damage has been done, obviously.
Nevertheless. How cute.
Nevertheless, the loss is there.
Yeah, that's
That
good.
part.
That's good.
So, what kind of a parent do you want to be? Do you know the answer to that question? For example, what I did. Yeah, you ponder on that a few more years. For example, for me, as a parent, I am definitely showing up a lot more differently in my children's lives than how my parents showed up in mine. For a lot of different reasons. Surroundings, peer pressure, and obviously evolution. So just these three factors play a huge role on what things that I do differently for my children versus how I was brought up. But a lot of people tend to follow the structure of the parenting that they received from their parents. Would you agree?
Yeah.
And I'm just talking about from observation. I see a lot of that. Like, well, this is how my parents did it, so it's kind of ingrained in me sort of type of thing, right?
Absolutely.
So, but why not learn from your experience with your parents, and why not change a thing or two and apply something new, knowing that, you know what, you're taking a leap of faith, but, hopefully that's going to bring better fruits of your labor. And I say hopefully because, obviously none of us come with a manual.
Nope.
Parenting 101 does not exist.
You kind of learn as you go, right?
Yeah. Ask your parents.
I mean, I would think.
Do you want to talk
from my observation of what my parents do? I think they've definitely grown tremendously from when I was a child.
You got to see how your siblings were treated and what your parents learned along the way and what changes they applied towards you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'd be curious to know if you actually noticed any of those evolutions in your parents.
For sure. Definitely.
Like what?
Gosh, what kind of way? It was 4 of us in the household, so obviously I'm the baby, and the oldest was treated a little bit more harshly I know. Did that sting? Did that sting a little?
It's the truth.
Oh.
It's the truth. I'm the oldest.
Oh.
And I have an oldest, so I know how she feels too. But yeah, no, hey, that's how we learn.
Typical. I think that's most households. Like
Yes.
the oldest kind of gets the
brunt
yeah
things.
yeah the crumbs of.
Well, easy now. Easy.
Just kidding. I'm kidding. We got the best of it. Okay. No.
The babies have it easy, really. They do.
Yeah,
because the parents chill by then.
By then they're
They're
like.
tired. They're
It's
over
really.
it.
I'm tired of fussing. I'm tired of yelling at the kids. At this point, I'm over it. Whatever. Do what you want. But I think my older sister was more stern. They were stern on her, and then the one that came right behind her, I guess that's the middle one. Is that what we call middle? She's like not too far behind.
Second oldest.
Second oldest. She was. I don't know. Maybe she was more. It was actually more.
On the second one?
Yeah, honestly, I think the second one got
Why?
it more because
Was she more rebellious?
Yeah, she was more
Okay.
rebellious. Oh, I love you.
Putting it out there. I didn't know any of this.
From
I'm
what
just learning.
from what mom and dad tells us, no. She was a little bit
Nothing
more
wrong with being
rebellious. A little bit
rebellious,
more
by the way.
risky.
Oh,
Does
the
that
truth
sound better?
comes out.
My oldest, the oldest was very quiet. So it's always a quiet one you have to watch. I love you too, sis. And then my brother came.
Anyway,
And then
go
my
on.
and then my
Go
brother
on.
came along. My brother came along, and it was a little more easier with him. Still a little bit stern, but when I came, by that time it was just whatever I wanted to do. Really, I mean, I had teachings, but I was the best kid.
I guess. I don't know. I can't compare.
No, but I will say though, it was. About when they got to me, from what I've seen growing up, how they taught them, it was very militant. I didn't get that. I got more of a, Meosha, anything you want, whatever you want to do. You're a good kid.
Would you say that shaped you in a better way or worse?
Better?
I mean, I know you, so it's like, I don't want to assume that. I'm just kind of trying to figure out how you feel about it as from a
I
standpoint
think it
of
shaped me in a
parents.
better way.
Why would you say that?
Because I don't think I could have actually taken that kind of,
Leap of faith?
no, the kind of stuff that my sisters were
Oh, you mean
going
you
through.
couldn't take that type of treatment from them?
No. I was
How do you know?
I was very weakly. It was bad. I wasn't.
I'm saying,
Weakly.
girl, if you had to endure whatever you had to endure, kids are very resilient and adaptable. So she just doesn't know because
I
she was
don't
a
think
baby.
I don't think I was, because my mom even said that, like, she tried to, my dad was trying to be stern towards me, and it just didn't turn out right. Like, I
yeah?
just didn't respond well to that. Like,
And they actually took it to heart.
yeah, like there was a time
That's pretty
where
cool.
when I did something, my mom, this is according to my mom, I don't remember this or recall, but she said that some people were over, and I was just kind of being wild, and my dad told me to sit down. I didn't sit down, and then he pulled off his belt, and he went to hit me, and then I passed out.
Oh my
Yeah, I
God.
passed out.
Oh, poor baby.
So
So no belt.
no belts,
'Cause you
no
passed out.
chastisement for me, because I apparently couldn't take it. So for me,
Pretty strong
the parenting
experience.
towards me was a little bit. It was stern, but not as.
Right. It sounds like she gave them the shock therapy.
I think so. But I think I turned out pretty well.
Yeah, no.
Wouldn't you say?
You're all right. You're all right. Well, my parents, I knew what I could and couldn't get away with,
Okay.
obviously. My dad was very, very strict. So
Yeah.
I learned very quickly what not to do to avoid all the, how we say, harsh corners.
Oh yeah.
Like all the rub. Yeah, my brother for some reason didn't know any better. He kept challenging my dad, so
Really?
obviously they had more of a rub, more of a kind of, they had a different relationship. I was deathly afraid of my dad,
Really?
so I wouldn't dare do anything to even let him begin thinking in a direction of punishment.
Why were
I
you
just
afraid
didn't,
of your dad?
because he was scary.
Oh, God.
He was very stern, very discipline oriented, very short fuse. Like,
Yikes.
yeah, you don't cross him.
Oof.
It's not until like, well, when my baby sister came along,
Kinda
I
calmed
totally
down.
saw the difference.
Yeah,
you know,
I'm sure.
because with her, she got away with so much more than the two of us ever did, ever.
Would you say that did it make you a little jealous growing up to see that? Like, well,
Probably.
why are you being
Probably,
nice to
but
her?
I didn't have time to be jealous. It was more about like I just want to preserve myself. It's kind of like a survival skill.
Okay.
So you just want to walk the line in order not to get, step on the wrong side of it.
Right.
Just keep it on the straight and narrow and you'll be all right.
Right.
That's what I learned. Like I said, my brother for some reason could not learn that. He kept getting in trouble all the time.
Wow.
So it's just, I don't know.
He
But
was
that's what my
also
dad
he
taught
was
me.
also a bull, huh?
Yeah, kind of still is. I love you, bro, but man. Whew, we still like
Oh boy.
like as kids, and now same thing.
Oh boy.
My sister and I, we kind of found our way to
That's good.
coexist, and we're hanging
That's
out
good.
finally. And
I'm
like,
glad.
yeah, but my brother, God bless him. No, we just. I love you, bro. I just don't understand you. But basically, back to parenting. So what I learned from it as a parent, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I did not want to bring up my children in a fear-based environment because I know what it does. It breeds a rebellion, but in the
Yes.
wrong
In the
kind of
wrong-
way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I remember taking it out on such stupid things that I could have probably avoided had I not built up all this pent up energy in me in being so afraid all the time, growing up.
Right.
It's fear. I mean, however you want to slice it, it's fear. A lot of us are afraid of either our mom or dad, whatever. So for me, it was important that when I had children, that I find a way to communicate, to build respect, to build a rapport with them. They respect me, not fear me, because I mean that's a lot more challenging. You have to be a lot more patient and a lot more, I don't know, patient, just patient, and consistent, which I have struggles with. My husband would attest to that. But I will have to say that it does pay off. Because when you have respect with your children, this is what I learned from my mom, actually. Because I was deathly afraid of my dad. But my mom and I, we got along really well. And she knew the real me, so to speak. And so that contrast, my mom and dad contrast, really helped me understand parenting better, right?
Right.
So for me, it's like, okay, I want to be stern enough for children to know where they stand with me when it comes to me being a mother, if I
Right.
have to play that card, right?
Right. Right.
But not to a point where it's going to scare them or they're not going to be able to open up to me or be who they are. So for me, it was important to treat my children as individuals versus as somebody who belongs to me, my property,
Right.
somebody I am overseeing. I am overseeing them, but not with a whip and not with a leash. I don't believe in those two things because they don't let you go too far. But guess what? When you get out in the free world,
You're gonna run.
you're
rampage.
going to see it wide and open.
Rampage.
And that's when you're like, whoa. That's why so many people, I feel, it is my limited, opinion, but I feel that's why so many people fail, as young adults, because they've been so hovered over and so like,
Yeah, let them like kind of.
what's the
breathe
word
a
I'm
little
looking for?
bit.
Cradled, yeah, just kind of like cushioned. That does not build them as individuals,
Nope.
right?
Because in the real world, they're gonna have a tough time.
So cushioned, no. Feared, no, because either one, you're building limitations,
Right.
right? And then you're putting them in sort of boxes, your children.
Yeah.
I want to help them develop themselves into who they are earlier than later so that it's easier for them to navigate life.
Right.
Like every time we have a fight, I mean, arguments, whatever you want to call it, with my children. I'm like, you know what? I'd rather that it be difficult for you here now with me. You'll
Versus-
thank me later.
That's true.
Cry your tears now so that you can be happy later. I'm fine with that. But what I mean by that is when I'm trying to instill something in them and teach them, and they're like, oh, but it's hard, but it takes work. Yes. But I'm not going to want to do that for you,
Right.
because if I'm doing it for you, what are you learning?
You're just enabling them. It's not going
Right?
to help them
Yes, enabling. But so many parents are enablers.
at all. Oh, I
And
know.
they don't see it.
Yes, this is why I don't need them.
I can get so personal on enabling, but I'm not going to go there. That's a whole other
It's
subject.
another subject. Yeah, so
But-
I like that though.
Yeah.
It's really good, and that's. I like how that's you just being honest. It's like that's what it is. I mean, I'm not a parent, so that's good to know. This is good stuff for me.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Hey. Yeah, you're
you so
welcome.
much.
Hey, boys. Can you go answer the door? Somebody's at the door. Thank you. We just cut that part out. Somebody's at the door. So, I mean, that's what I think is very important in parenting, is the ability to assess, is the ability to let your child exercise their individuality as much as possible, but with, guidance, and that's what you are actually best at being a parent, when you can give them just enough information so that they can make their decisions
Right.
based on what they've experienced rather than what you told them, right? Because they are going to have failures regardless. You actually want them to have failures.
Absolutely.
Because it's better for them to fail on a smaller scale than and then
Huge.
learn from that mistake, while you can still teach them something,
Right.
while you're around to teach them something, versus them going out in the real world, learning the same mistakes, but having to pay a bigger price for it.
Yeah. No, that's not good.
Right?
Yeah.
That's why I prefer, if they're going to experiment, do it while I can still kind of help you
Figure it out.
steer, and, because they're going to do it anyway.
Oh yeah.
Either they're going to be open about it and you're going to know what's going on in their lives, or they're going to get very crafty and manipulating, and you're not going to know, but it's still going to happen.
Right.
I'm just
can't
preferring
stop
to
it.
know. Do I cringe? Boy, do I cringe. Yes, I do. But I'd rather cringe and do something about it than be in an ignorance and bliss and then be in shock later in life, like, wow, I didn't even know my child. That's how I feel.
Absolutely.
Like, you either get to know them and build a rapport now, or
You're just not gonna
Yeah.
have any type of. You're not gonna know them.
boys, quiet on set, please. I need quiet. We're filming. I need quiet. We're filming.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
I mean, that's how I view parenting,
It's good. That's really good.
But a lot of people think, well, I want to give my children the best of everything. Well, who doesn't? But to me, it's not in things.
No.
To me, it's in experiences. To me, it's in advice. To me, it's in the types of conversations you have, the types of interactions you have with your children, what you
Definitely.
expose them to,
Yes.
the social environments that
Very
you
important.
create for them, what type of exchange you have with them on a regular basis, what it is that they come to you with, right?
Yeah.
What would you say the best thing you learned from your parents? Or a few best things. I mean, I don't want to put it in. What are the highlights that stand out to you as their parenting with you?
Oh, the first of all, I think my principles and what I believe in, and how to be disciplined. I would say they really have taught me how to. They taught me how to. Yeah, you can go out and experience life, but also know that there's consequences. To
sure.
all your actions. So know that. And you don't want a baby, because whoopsie, it only takes one time.
Yeah.
So all these amazing things that they taught me. Just, I guess, discipline is really what they really, I think I'm super disciplined. I think I was really disciplined growing up, like as a child. Like, God, I mean, there's things I wanted to do, and I don't know. I just thought about it. I heard my mom and dad voice, "Up, don't do that." And like, oh, right. So even now, I kind of, when I think about certain things, I'm like, it's funny. It's still with me.
Yeah,
so
of course.
I'm really grateful. Yeah. Yeah, and I think how to love people, and they taught me that. I think that's super
pretty
important.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I say discipline goes a long way though, because that'll
Help shape your
That'll-
future.
definitely take you farther in life than that, for sure. I know that, especially nowadays, I feel like it's a huge part to instill in our children, because there's just so much available with such ease that to like really keep yourself in discipline ramifications, if you will. It's tough. It's tough for the kids. Because, I mean, when we were growing up, we didn't have all those distractions, not to this degree. So it was easier for us to refrain from certain things. Whereas for our children, the generation that is now, they really have to overcome a lot of temptation on a daily basis.
It's a lot out there now
Yeah.
versus when I was a child, I think.
So, which is why it's even more important to keep those communication lines more open.
And
to-
trust, because
Yeah.
that's ultimately what it boils down to with your kids, I think, right? Like, I've given you all the tools to make us have a successful life. Now I have to trust you that you're going to actually listen to what I taught you and and apply that to your life.
Well,
I mean, that's
I've given
hard.
you all the tools. It depends on how you give them.
No, not like my parents. Like, all right, you're 18 now.
Yeah.
We've taught you well. At least we think so. But you really just don't know.
Exactly. You just
You
have
really
to hope that
don't know.
you've built the foundation strong enough that even if they stray from it a little bit, that they come back to it and understand that that's where their home is, in their heart. I agree with that.
100%.
I very much agree with that. So I guess we'll see how my children will turn out.
That'll be great.
That'll speak for my success. But from what I'm seeing so far,
They're amazing.
I am
kidding?
not complaining.
You're doing great.
I am not complaining. I'm
Fantastic.
grateful. I'm grateful for the type of relationship we've built, and
Fantastic.
that they have respect for us, and that they come to us not out of a need, but out of a want. I think that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
That they see the value in us, and they don't run from us, but they tend to want our input first.
That's good.
That to me is invaluable.
That's really good.
So I encourage parents to have that faith in your children, to have that discipline in you, to be able to let go a little bit of your leash and to build trust instead. It is work. It is hard work. It is exhausting work. But it's worth it. It's definitely worth it, because if you can build a long-lasting, trusting relationship, which the exchange is healthy, and your kid, then you are forming a far better individual out of your children, and you're going to reap those benefits, and you're going to enjoy them as they develop further, and hopefully they'll take that and make an even better, greater family for themselves, because we get to watch to be grandparents, hopefully, and hopefully not too soon.
Oh God, hopefully not.
But we want to enjoy the fruits of our labor, right? Why do we have kids?
Amen.
So, yeah.
We want to enjoy the
I know
fruits
this
of our
subject is
labor.
very loaded, and we can talk about it forever, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
I can't speak for you. But hopefully you took something away from it, and definitely, I look forward to your comments.
Yeah, let us know what you think about
Questions.
this
Yeah.
topic. Love to hear it.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure that this is a very sore subject for a lot of parents, and there's a lot of diversity out there as to what is the correct parenting. And you know what? Every family,
It's different.
at the end of the day, comes to their own policy,
Yeah.
as long as it works out for you. I just believe that what I believe in is the best policy, because I get to see how it develops. But there's no one way about it, right?
No, no, definitely
So,
not. Definitely not.
Yeah.
I like that.
But in my world, remember, the better it gets,
The
the
better it gets.
gets.
Have
We'll
a
see
good
you
one.
guys next time. Bye.
Bye.
Mwah.